Welcome to the Geek Easy, fellow geeks. Let's open a beverage of your choice. Because today I'm going to be reviewing The Bitter End and Other Stories. It's a collection of pre-code horror stories, usually from the Vault of Horror and things like that, illustrated by a gentleman by the name of Reed Crandall. And at the beginning, you get a little kind of biography of him, which goes into his career at EC and some of the stories he did, which is really interesting. It's always nice to kind of know about the people who worked on the stories you're enjoying so much. And then it just kicks into the first story called Double Crossed. And there's a lot of it's got an interesting pattern to it, because if you see, there's a lot of writing to it with the pictures along with it. But it's a quick read, and it is just really, really intense, and it is such a good story. And you really did not see the twist coming at the end. But one of the things they talk about in the very beginning page part is the artwork that this guy does. And just take a look at this art right here. I've tried to get some images from the internet. I couldn't do it. But this guy it is just so intricate and just incredible. Then you move on to a kind of justice. These aren't all horror stories. There's some like mysteries and things like that. And the first couple are like that, where they a certain type of justice, or a kind of justice, is about a couple of cops down south and setting a guy up. And then we get into some of the horror stories. This is called The Shadow Knows, and it's not about the shadow, as we all know, but it's about a guy who kills his girlfriend, and then her shadow starts haunting him and stuff like that. Look, that's from a different story, but look at the detail on this art. I really think that this enhances the story. And I think these were all in color in the magazines, but the way it's done in this, with it being black and white, I think this is a little better, because the way the black and white works, it pulls the detail out some. It can kind of gives a more creepy aspect to it. I don't know. But then you get to actually the story that the book is named after. It's about this big businessman. He's really, 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 really rich. His son is his only kid. His wife died giving birth to this son. He was the only kid, and he's worried about his legacy. He wants to continue the line, and his son is a complete 180 from the father. The father's all, it was kind of like maybe a J.P. Morgan type, you know, Getty, and he wants to leave. He wants his son to take over and become like him, and his son's like, no, man, I've got, I don't do that shit. To quote, in Living Color, homie, don't pay that. And and he follows him and finds out that his son is dating a waitress and he wants to marry her, and he's just like, no, not gonna happen. She's a commoner, she's a waitress. You're not gonna do this shit. So he sends his son off on a business thing for a year, saying, okay, you'll get over it. And I don't want to ruin the ending, but it's kind of heartbreaking, and it's not really a horror story, but it is a bitter end. And so the stories are just really cool. But then we get a section in here of some mystery ones where we have a female reporter by the name of Jerry Hamilton. That's let's see, that's her right there. Okay, and she's goes to do these stories, and of course there's a mystery that pops up, and she solves them. So these were separate from the horror stories, and the connection in this, as I've said, is they're all written, illustrated by Reed Crandall. I enjoyed this book so much. I mean, it's a wonderful, wonderfully packaged. It's got some great stock paper. I mean, it's very good. It's not really lightweight. It's not really thin paper. It's kind of heavy paper. Good binding. I'm going to give this a 5 out of a 5 just because it's such an entertaining book. It's awesome to read. It's incredible to look at. Even the stories that aren't the best, and they're all good quality stories, are still really enjoyable. They're awesome to look at, and I enjoyed every moment of reading it, and I really recommend it, especially if you like the EC type of books. And you get the little articles in here, front, and I mean, take a look at the artwork on here. And then you get more stuff in the back. So you get the stories and some interesting history on the stuff. So it's great to have in your collection if you want it. But anyway, let me know if you read the stuff, what you thought of it. And like, subscribe, most of all, enjoy your comics.